going on, folks? What's going on? How are we doing? Nothing good? Nothing good. That's what's going on, is nothing good. That makes me sad. How's it going, Kareem? What's going on, Moises? What's going on, Bob? Bobbert? So, Kareem, I watched that documentary, The Tiger King. It's freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Definitely, definitely some good entertainment provided there. I don't know if I can use the word amazing, because like I get the reality TV drama that's behind it. Like, that makes sense. I understand the entertainment element of it, but man, when I see people act in that manner, it like it makes me sick. Just because it's like there's just such a massive need for help, because people are living in despair, and there's stress and anxiety and all of that different stuff. It's bad. It makes me sad. It really, really makes me sad. So I can't say it's amazing in the sense of like, oh man, but it provided entertainment, and it was definitely sad. It was really, really sad. Unfortunately sad. So, alrighty. Any questions on 10-4? Because another one of those like super easy lessons. I thought, at least. So let's get right into it. Remember, there's only a 5-second delay now. Isn't that awesome? 5 seconds. It's like almost live. It feels great actually being able to talk to you guys and not just sit there and be like, when do I get to talk to you guys? So, anyways, find the explicit formula to the nth term of a given sequence. So we are dealing with geometric sequences. So number one, we said that the formula is a sub n equals my first term times the common ratio to the n minus 1 power. So the two pieces of information I need to find are going to be the first term, the common ratio. So on this first sequence, the first term is 2, because it just happens to be the first value here. Then, to be able to find my common ratio, I need to figure out what's being multiplied every single time. So, what's being multiplied? Mistake on example 3? Maybe I did. Let's take a look. So my common ratio is going to be -3. So then, because from 2 to -6, I get you have to multiply by -3, have to multiply by -3, have to multiply by -3. So then, writing my formula, it's going to be a sub n equals 2 times -3 to the n minus 1. And so that's going to be my explicit formula. Questions on that one? You're right. So on on the practice for number 3, the issue is the problem is written wrong. That's the issue. I'm looking at the notes that I did, and I just, yeah, it was an unintentional mistake. It was I wrote the problem down incorrectly. Good catch there. All right. Any questions on 2 or 3? All right. So it's just the same idea. So for the rest of these, let's determine if it's arithmetic or geometric or neither. So to determine if it's going to be arithmetic, remember it has to increase or decrease by the same value that we're adding or subtracting. If it's geometric, we're multiplying by the same number every time. So in number 4, it looks like we're subtracting 100 every single time. So if we're subtracting 100 every single time, that is going to be arithmetic. For number 5, it looks like multiplying by multiplying by positive 4 every time. So for number 5, that's going to be geometric. For number 6, we're adding 4 to get to -4, adding 4, adding 4. So that one's going to be arithmetic. Number 8, we subtracted 10 to get to -6. Sorry, we added 10 to get to -6. And if I add 10 to -6, that gives me 4. And then I add 10 to 4, and that gives me 14. So that's arithmetic. Any questions on any of those? Okay. So let's move on to number 9. What is the inverse of these? Well, to find the inverse of anything, you take the domain and range and you switch it. So you switch the x and y values. So the inverse to number 9 would be 3, 0, 6, 7, and -2, -1. All I did was switch the x and y values. Questions on that one? Okay, so you guys probably got that. Moving on. Wow, this stream's going by really quick. This is a quick worksheet. So number 11, we have y equals 2 over x plus 1. So to be able to find the inverse, you're going to switch the x and y values. And then you're going to solve for y. So now I need to get y by itself. And I will do 13 after. So I'm going to -1. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by y. And then to get y by itself, divide both sides by x minus 2. And so that right there is going to be my graph. Comments or questions on that? Okay, let's do number 13. So for number 13, this one takes some creativity to be able to do. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to factor this into x plus 3 times x plus 3, which is going to be y equals x plus 3 squared. Because instead of having an x squared and an x, now that it's factored, I just have an x. So now I can switch the x and y's. And now I can solve and get y by itself. So I can square root both sides. Minus 3. And that right there is my inverse. Comments or questions on that one? So once again, the thought process though was that because I have an x squared and x, I don't know what to do to be able to simplify that. So if I factor it, now I just have an x, and it happens to factor into perfect binomial. If it didn't factor into perfect binomial, it'd be a wash. It'd be still difficult. But the fact that it was a perfect binomial, that's what makes this strategy work. Any other questions with that one? All right, let's move on. So number 14. So I have the square root of 80. And the square root of 80, that's going to break down into square root of 16 and the square root of 5. The square root of 16 is 4. So that's going to be 4 root 5. Number 17. The square root of negative 32. And so that's going to break down into, I'm just going to do, just think that it's I. So I have the square root of negative 1 and the square root of 32. So that's going to be I. And then the square root of 32 breaks into the square root of 16 and the square root of 2. That's 4. So I'm going to get 4 root 2 I. Any questions on those? Well, cool. Well, this was a really quick stream, wasn't it? That's okay. You guys can start your awesome weekend earlier. Just a few updates. I'll kind of give an Alex update over the weekend on how that's going to evolve. Like I said, I'm still working on some things with that. And I need every single one of you guys, please, please, please sign into that Google Classroom that I posted originally. I need everyone to do that. You got to sign in. It's like attendance to who I'm reaching. And I need everyone to go ahead and sign in for that. I have 10-5 recorded. That's going to get uploaded basically like right after this stream. So be aware of that. The assignment for 10-4 isn't there. I see the assignment there. Is it not there right now, Emerald? How do I know if you received my work on Google Classroom? That's a really good question. Let me check to see what is a way that I can check for that. Oh, the 10-4 for the Google Classroom. I see what you're saying. You couldn't find the 10-4 video? Was it not on my website? Sometimes if you leave like my website open when I update it like every day, you have to hit the refresh button. If you don't hit the refresh button, then the website itself can't update. Here we go. 10-4 5 due date. Assign. Yeah. Sorry, Bob. Yeah, you just gotta refresh it. I wish it would auto refresh, but it can't do it that way. Okay, so I created a 10-4 spot for there. All right, so now to answer that next question, how do I know if I've received it? Okay, yeah, I have it there, Kareem. Once I get in the groove a little bit better, so you're uploading it just fine. Like I said, once I get in the groove, I'll be able to um oh, okay, and I can switch between them. Great. Okay. Yeah, once I get into the groove of it, I'm going to be able to go through and grade things much quicker and easier. A lot of this, it's all new for you guys and it's new for me too. So all this newness is I'm a little slow. I'm going to get faster, I'm going to get better. So just be continued, but it's there, Kareem, and if you have a question on if I received it or not, just send me a message. Be like, hey, I submitted it. Can you check for me if you received it? And I'm more than happy to verify that for you. Does that sound good? So, Bob, when you hit the refresh, did it show up? Okay, great. Yeah, I apologize for that. All right, anyone else? Great. Well, if you guys have any other questions, please, 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 please send me a message. I'm going to be working diligently over this weekend. But please also, if you can do me a favor, share it to other people in this class. Hey, sign up for the Google Classroom. Can you guys please do that? That would help me reach out to as many students as well, because I don't know if how many students are regularly checking the Discord chat and all that different stuff. Some people mute it after a while. Oh, I'm sick and tired of Mr. Duval's messages, So I need your help. So reaching out to people. I'm going to be compiling a list of students who have been being reached out to and who haven't, and I will be reaching out to those, and I might be calling upon a few of you guys to help me out with that as well. So, cool. Well, thanks, guys. Message me if you need any help. Stay safe, be healthy, and have a great weekend.